Hello,
What's up,
I'm
everyone?
Matt Wilkins, and I got with me Christopher
We're on the nightcap.
on the nightcap.
It's
I'll
the
tell you, my
Wayback
views
Machine
were
or the Legends Machine, whichever way you slice it.
where
I'm
you
kicking
slice
off
it
Brennan
as
because
best I know
I'm
how.
covering my bases and I'm doing both the names and being inconsistent in the names of my podcast because it covers all
Are
the
you that
bases. But
pervert
also,
weirdo Alex that I keep hearing about,
yes, I am.
who likes Palpatine?
I do
Like,
like
that's kind of
Palpatine,
weird. This
and
guy's
just a
looking at
little bit,
Palpatine, and I'm over here trying to do my dinner theater.
bro. For real, that's so true. Dinner
Sorry.
theater for the win. But we've got more pressing matters. Um, well, first of all, what's up, Alex? This dude's awesome. My brother, my literal brother here. Um, you may not have seen me in a while, like on the channel on live, but me and Alex have been keeping up. I love this guy. He's seriously going to be my friend for the rest of my life. So, um,
Yeah, he knows too much. He doesn't have a
I know too.
choice.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'd have to kill Alex if he stopped being my friend because he knows all the
I
dirty
have to kill
secrets.
him.
He knows about my radical agenda for the Star Wars expanded universe. So he's too dangerous.
To be kept alive without
Oh,
restraint.
yep, basically that. We've got more pressing matters to deal with though. Like what the
Timothy
frick is
Chalamet's
this?
rocking my cut,
What the
but he doesn't
frick?
rock it as
He's
hard as I
copying
do.
Alex. Like
He is. He
why?
saw me
What's up,
somewhere,
Iron?
and he went, "That's the look."
Harry, Andres,
It's nice
nice,
to
nice to
show
see
that
y'all.
welcome him.
Indeed. Well, he just lost all his sex appeal. So, frick,
He's still dating Kylie Jenner.
bro is a baller, isn't he?
But no, I think it's for Dune Messiah.
He went from this to this. We think this is for Dune. I
I think
think
he said that somewhere.
Paul's gonna be rocking like the Slim Shady buzz cut for
I mean,
Dune.
I guess it kind of goes hard if he's in the desert. Wait,
Oh
that's
yeah,
Messiah.
true. He's gonna.
Wait, that's Children of Dune.
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. Right, right, right. He's gonna be perspiring less, I guess.
Maybe this will be when he goes blind. Don't want to spoil the book's old. You should know. Um. Anyway, my favorite book
At
of Dune is
basketball game. Have
Messiah.
you seen them at the basketball game?
Mm.
Yeah, look. I love this picture. He's like up and cheering. Got his Kobe shirt on. Look at this guy out here living his best life.
Guys, he's having a good life. Yeah.
Have you seen the trailer for Marty Supreme, the ping
Oh
pong
yeah.
movie?
It's on
Looks
Christmas.
dope, doesn't it? I'm gonna see it.
Yes.
Are you?
We're gonna
You?
have Timothy Chalamet banging Iron Man's girlfriend before the end of it all.
I hope so. That's why I'm paying to get a seat. I think
That's
his
the whole
look
reason.
is awesome for this film. By the way, um,
Alex is getting popular. Soon there'll be many people rocking the Alex cut. Maybe
the
I'll
Alex
rock it
cut. Do you think
myself.
I need to switch to the Alex cut? Just like how would
Not
I even
everybody
do
can rock
that?
it. That's the only problem. You gotta have the right facial structure
Do
for it.
I not? Is this not gonna work? The Alex
I
cut.
don't think Vikings can do buzz cut.
I literally have. As someone pointed out to me, one of my friends said you have longer hair and shorter hair than me simultaneously. Because the side I keep it skin and then long on the middle, all the way back.
Hmm,
It ain't the Alex cut, but yeah,
no.
I mean, 2020s is your decade.
I don't know.
I hope this
Maybe
is a
the
comment about me because I would love to look like a divorced dad from the UK with one daughter. That's the dream.
yeah.
But this movie
No
looks great.
comment.
Alex, can you confirm that I'm like actually pretty good at ping pong?
No, it looks like cinema for sure. For sure.
It looks great, but like we've played ping pong. You can confirm that I'm like pretty decent, right?
I mean, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm no Marty Supreme, but like I love
I
this
mean, is
sport. It's
anybody
great.
Timothy Chalamet? Is
Bro,
anybody's
that's so
prettiest?
true. I mean, as soon as I saw this, I was like, two of my favorite things: Timothy, sexy Chalamet, and ping pong. So like
Exactly. You
cinema,
like games about balls?
cinema.
Like games
Wait, what
about
did you say?
balls, where
Hey,
you paddle some balls.
I mean, these are
I'm
some
gonna give you
interesting
the Nero
allegations.
stare. You
Um,
fucking
oh
idiot.
no, Timothy. Dang, yeah, Timothy does. He's in his divorce dad era. After Kylie, is that her name? Kylie Jenner leaves him.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
Not quite.
we'll see if that ever
You
happens.
you can get there, Harry. But at the same time, I don't want. Yo, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I wish I could be as cool as Alex's haircut. I mean, he's had it for generations. So,
Been rocking
I
it
mean,
since like 2017. So
no, yeah, for real.
it's easy.
Hold up.
But yeah,
Let me
Marty
pull up.
Supreme's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Looks pretty cool, right? I'll definitely be seeing it.
I don't
Um,
think Timothy Chalamet's missed in a long time.
I
So
would concur. Yeah.
I
Where's the announcement that I was gonna pull up? Here it is. All right,
he's dying already. 6 minutes
bro.
in the
I know.
stream.
6 minutes
It's all
in, I'm
over.
just so out of practice, bro. Um, Getting over a cold, so cold season. All right. I think this is what everyone wants to see us talk about. To be honest, I'll probably shamelessly clip this and just post this as a separate video. So what's up, everyone, for the video? Here's our thoughts on Fate of the Old Republic. Should we watch the trailer first or read the article? What do you want to
Probably
do?
watch the trailer first.
Watch the trailer? Okay, I got you.
I mean, I think Son of Luke already made a fantastic video on the matter. In case you guys haven't seen it,
he made a pretty good video. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I just saw that earlier today, actually. Yeah, he's always on top of things.
that's why he's the news guy.
Is volume coming through?
Yes.
Awesome. Alex is my guy in the chair, keeping me straight. Okay, like this looks cool, right? Like visually.
Gosh, I mean, it's just a trailer. It's not gonna look like this.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a.
But there's no way it's in the Legends continuity. There's no way. I mean, they're gonna try to somehow merge it. I mean,
although we technically don't know yet. Guess we'll see.
Well, I mean, there's things in the trailer that make it seem like they're gonna try to merge it somehow.
Yeah. Well, the main thing I'm gonna have to say is
like
it's not gonna happen.
That's KOTOR 1. That's
right.
Starforge.
Yeah. Who do we think this character is supposed to be? Do we think it's? Some people have been saying it's Tequila. Some people have been saying it's Tequila. Did the website go up yet? It doesn't look like the website itself is up yet, but this is the article. First of all, I'd say this is like the worst acronym ever. SWFOTOR. Like KOTOR was good, SWOTOR was good, but this is SWFOTOR. And so already I don't like it. But all that being said, there's a chance that this could still be EU, I guess. I
don't see it being.
I don't know.
It has to be EU adjacent because it had the shit from the game,
right?
And
it can't really be in the new canon because of like High Republic.
I mean, they could just
like,
retcon it like they retcon everything else. So
that's true.
I say they were mistaken.
I always forget that they don't actually care about stuff.
Yeah. So
I always forget that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Announced that the 2020. Well, first of all, this game's not going to happen. They were saying that a 2030 release date seems optimistic. This game ain't going to happen. Like, it's not going to happen. Like, Whether it would be EU or canon, I just doubt it's coming out. Now, hopefully, someone will clip that and be like, the greatest EU game of all time came out. It's peak. Hopefully, they'll be saying that, and I can eat my words. But first of all, I don't think it's going to come out.
It does. I think it does reference Old Republic characters, but the specific line in the High Republic, as far as I haven't read it, but as far as I'm aware, is that hyperspace only was like found out about and accessed during the High Republic. So the only way, if they were staying true to that, that would mean in this game there's no hyperspace. So that's like real time flying through
And
everywhere.
then if it's tying into KOTOR 1 with the Starforge and the ships and the look of the original game, then how's that going to slot in?
Yeah.
Right? Because it doesn't really have a
Unless
spot.
they take aspects of KOTOR 1 and 2, but don't actually take the thing.
They did say that.
Yeah.
But
so take what they like, ignore all the rest. I don't know.
Classic Pablo right there. Yeah, it's going to take so long.
That's a whole separate discussion on AAA games and.
Oh yeah, like indie games right now are
Elder Scrolls 6 still hasn't come out. I was 10 years old when Skyrim came out.
And obviously the greatest
trailer
meme one is
for
GTA
Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah, that too. And the trailer for Elder Scrolls 6 came out in 2019.
Dang.
Yeah, a little teaser trailer for it. Yeah. So
as far as I'm aware, the direct line in High Republic specifically says that before the High Republic era, the hyperspace lanes didn't exist.
Yeah.
And that they were specifically discovered during the High Republic era. So that would imply that any hyperspace travel in the KOTOR era couldn't really fit into the new timeline, as far as I'm aware. But reading the article,
they would have to really shrink the galaxy to make
it does.
Events of KOTOR 1 actually happen. They're still happening in Disney canon. Would require everything to be within a reasonable spot to do it, unless they say that Revan had some way through the Starforge or something of using hyperspace, I guess.
Yeah, the absolute worst thing that could happen is them mushing these two properties together. I hate when the timeline gets muddied and they like borrow from.
They already did that with Clone Wars Season 7.
Yeah, so I'd rather they keep them separated.
Yeah, me too.
And just horrible, right? So if this game is in canon and going to connect to KOTOR, they're going to have to change their canon lore. So the only thing that makes sense is to put this in Legends and have it work with SWTOR.
But they won't.
But they're not going to do that because then the canon people would be like, well, what's the point if this doesn't matter?
Yeah.
So we're left where it's kind of in.
They haven't given us books or comics, so why would they go the extra mile and do a super expensive video game for us?
That's very true. There's one thing in the article that makes it sound like it might be. There was something in this article. I'll try to look for it as we read it, but something kind of implied that it's going to be set after SWTOR, which, if true, and if it did connect to the game, because the director of the game worked on SWTOR, that would have KOTOR chance, right? Yeah, KOTOR, and they worked on SWTOR. So if it's going to connect to SWTOR, then it would be Legends. But why would they do that?
Yeah,
I mean, I guess SWTOR is popular, so if they wanted to springboard off of SWTOR's popularity and tie it in, I could see that happening.
You have a huge gap between Knight Errant and SWTOR.
Yeah.
And then Knight Errant to Darth Bane is also pretty hefty gap. So
yeah, there's a lot of real estate to work with.
But if it's just
and it would be nice if they use this game to cap off SWTOR, so that SWTOR doesn't just keep going. Right? Because SWTOR is just currently still going, and that's cool. But like, it's got to end at some point, right? And so if they could end it all with this like neatly,
I mean,
tie a bow on that era, that would be that would be like the ideal.
Still going.
That is true. But if it resolved all of the giant narrative structures, and further game updates were just either aesthetic or minor side missions. Um, I think the ideal thing would be if this was like a loose sequel to KOTOR and SWOTOR and tied up both of those eras. In a perfect world, it would be a Legends game that just kind of ends that era neatly with a bow. But I don't know if that would happen, right?
Yeah, I don't think they would go through that much effort. Even still,
I don't know that it will be tied to the High Republic. I feel like that could be even messier
well,
if
High
they try to
Republic's
do
too
that.
close to the prequels. It's only 200 years. This is
Yeah,
supposed to be an
this.
older.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if it does connect to Legends, then it's immediately contradicts canon. So it's
Yeah, and then if it
in a
connects to
very negative
canon, then it would contradict Legends, and vice versa.
way. Either way, it messes
Because
something
just
up.
High Republic and KOTOR and SWOTOR, they're not compatible. So no matter where
Yeah,
you put it, you can't connect to all of them. So it's left in just this gray area. It's very interesting, right?
unless it just has nothing to do with the Old Republic other than aesthetics. You know,
Yeah. It very much looks SWOTOR-esque to me. Very
it
much like
does.
SWOTOR cinematics.
It
And
does.
obviously there's a KOTOR reference in the trailer.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm just so pessimistic about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Connects to nothing, but what would be the point? And fans would be upset. Yeah. If it connected to nothing, it wouldn't destroy either lores, but everyone would be like, so where does it go? So it's going to be interesting. Since my voice is failing, Alex, would you mind reading?
Sure. Sorry. I'm gonna turn off my camera just while I read this because I have to get pretty close up because I'm old. In Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic, step into the role of a Force user on a journey through a galaxy on the edge of rebirth and at the end of the Old Republic. The brand new epic narrative single-player action role-playing game from Arcanet Studios, developed in collaboration with Lucasfilm Games, was announced on stage tonight at this year's Game Awards, along with the first look at a thrilling trailer. It was announced that Fate of the Old Republic will be developed by a new studio launched by Casey Hudson, the director of the original Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic and the Mass Effect trilogy. The Mass Effect trilogy is awesome, I do have to say. Blending innovative storytelling, memorable characters, and heart-pounding combat, Star Wars: Fate of the Old Republic will immerse you in an unforgettable experience where
Can I
every
stop you there
decision
for a
deepens
sec?
you. Yeah.
Saying heart-pounding combat suggests that this will be very different game mechanics than KOTOR. Obviously,
I
I don't
mean,
think it's going to be turn-based. That's just so out of date, right?
I wouldn't
So
say
it'll be very
turn-based is
different
out of date,
in
but
that. Sure,
yeah.
sure, but
Yeah.
the
Yeah, I
mechanics
know
to
what you mean.
KOTOR are just a little bit janky, right?
Yeah, for that game. I mean, Expedition
I
33
love it,
just came out, and
but
that was a turn-based game.
right,
But yeah,
gotcha.
it's a very old turn-based game. And I mean, it's been years since KOTOR, so you would expect it to be enhanced and better by this point.
Yeah,
Um, so
I expect it'll play like more modern, just more modern aesthetic, obviously.
yeah,
I don't think
yeah.
that's a hot take, obviously. I think it'll be better than SWOTOR's, like more seamless than SWOTOR's even.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Um,
KOTOR is also pretty old now. So
yeah, I know.
one
It's
thing we
what,
got to get you
15
on though
years
is that
already
Mass Effect lore, though.
on the Mass Effect.
Yeah,
Maybe
we got to
after
get you
college,
on.
bro.
Yeah, after college, because it's like Star Wars plus Star Trek plus Babylon 5 plus a couple other things in one.
You're naming the
It's like
things I
perfect.
like.
Exactly. All right, in the exclusive first interview on the forthcoming title, Hudson and VP and GM of Lucasfilm Games, Douglas Riley sat down with StarWars.com to talk about the storied history of KOTOR and tease what we can expect from the new collaboration. When we developed the original KOTOR, we wanted to create a definitive Star Wars experience, crafting an adventure that consisted of all the things we dreamed of doing as Star Wars fans. Hudson says now, 25 years after we started work on that game, our aspirations are equally ambitious. Fate of the Old Republic represents an opportunity to explore a contemporary vision of a definitive Star Wars experience, using state-of-the-art technology and game design in an all-new story crafted specifically to deliver on the combination of player agency and immersion in Star Wars that was at the heart of KOTOR.
That
Although
is what
Fate
I
of the
love
Old
the most about KOTOR, isn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Just being able to
Although
live and breathe in the world.
yeah, and make decisions that mattered.
Yeah,
Although Fate of the Old
100%.
Republic is not a direct sequel or continuation, it is being built by people who helped shape that legacy, Riley adds. Throughout my 2 decades of working on Star Wars games, including Star Wars The Old Republic, I've been fortunate to see the firsthand just how much these stories mean to our fans. For us, this new project is about honoring that legacy by creating something in the same tradition of a deep, semantic, choice-driven role-playing game. Reuniting with Casey has been a tremendous honor, and we are pouring in all of our shared passion and experience into building the next great chapter. Creative clarity. After directing the original and beloved game, Hudson was eager to return to the galaxy, creating a new experience or expression in the tradition of KOTOR, which was released in 2003. Star Wars has been an ever-present force in my life from the time I saw the first movie in 1977 and throughout my career, where it's been a constant source of inspiration. Hudson says it's hard to describe how exciting it was to be able to work in the Star Wars galaxy, contributing to its incredible legacy. We had so much fun working on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, and it was one of the defining experiences of my career. Hudson remained in contact with Lucasfilm in the more than 20 years since, hoping to get the chance to collaborate again, but a project like this is a huge commitment for everyone involved, so it took the right conditions to get everything to line up. This year, Hudson co-founded Argonaut Studios, and the stars began to align. Our goal is developing the kind of games I love making,
New
emotionally
studio, very
powerful,
interesting.
cinematic adventure driven by player agency, narrative depth, and immersive world building, he says. Conversations between our team and Lucasfilm Games led to an incredible opportunity to return to Star Wars, and once again, we can hardly believe we're working on such a special project. Sorry. Still, in the early stages of development and creation, Fate of the Old Republic benefits from decades of creative experience across collaborative partnership. I've always strived to lead very focused projects with creativity, clarity, and alignment among the team, and a crisply organized producing production plan. Hudson says that's ultimately what makes it possible to deliver a game that meets high expectations. But consistently achieving that with large and ambitious projects with ever increasing demands on scope and complexity has been a lifelong journey of learning and improvement, and a personal obsession of mine. As a director, Hudson partners with his team as well as Lucasfilm Games to bring that clear vision to life. Great ideas come from all parts of the team, he says. So my job is to gather and shape a cohesive vision that the entire team contributes to, ensuring that everyone shares that vision and understands their part in creating it. It is critical to the success of a project. In this newest chapter in Star Wars gaming history, we'll touch on what Hudson sees as the fundamental pillars of the franchise, such as innovative storytelling, memorable characters, challenging gameplay, and immersive agency in the Star Wars galaxy. Lucasfilm Games was eager to tell a new story in the era with lots of possibilities. Star Wars past is a vast open canvas for creators to explore without having to navigate storytelling touchstones from other media. See, this is the part that makes me go, oh, well, then it's definitely not connected to KOTOR because
Right.
it's saying it's not beholden to anything. Um, Being set in the past gives us an immense amount of open space to tell new original Star Wars stories while staying true to the spirit of the galaxy we all love. There are quite literally infinite stories to tell, which, if this was connected to the EU, I would say there isn't an infinite number. There's quite a few you could tell, but I don't know about infinite. While we will always honor and celebrate the core saga, it's crucial to explore new territory, meet new characters, and see new parts of the galaxy. Uh, Riley was especially excited to partner with Hudson given his depth and knowledge of both Star Wars storytelling and RPG game creation. We've been keenly aware our fans have been wanting to revisit this player fantasy. Riley says to create a new RPG that lives up to that devotion was something that we had to be very careful with. Casey's expertise in crafting deep long-term storytelling and building immersive choice-driven worlds is second to none. We are fortunate to have the game director of one of the most beloved Star Wars games of all time returning to Galaxy Far, Far Away. It really blows me away to think that we're part of something that made such a lasting impression. When we were making KOTOR, we were just focused on making the best game we could, and no idea would resonate the way it did. Seeing the impact it made with players and how that connection has endured for more than 20 years is humbling and inspiring. Although the team is mum on the details of the story they're planning, Fate of the Old Republic will introduce new characters for an all-new story. We're still early in development, with many challenges ahead, Hudson says. I'm grateful to have enjoyed the support of KOTOR fans for many years. I look forward to embarking upon this journey together, sharing more of what we're doing as soon as we can. The end.
The end. And I can't remember which article it was, but there's been a few follow-up articles already, and there was a quote from the director who said that the setting would be late in the Old Republic, whatever that means.
Sort of have nothing to do with Revan or anything, just fine. But
yeah, because Revan's story was kind of, regardless of how you feel, Revan's story was kind of completed in SWTOR, for better or worse.
Yeah. SWTOR to Knight Errant is like what, 300 years? No, it's 300 years from KOTOR to SWTOR. No, I think it's like 3,000 years.
Yeah, it's millennias. And then thousands more years from Knight Errant to Bane, right? Or hundreds maybe in that case.
It might be hundreds. I'm not positive.
And then hundreds of years from Bane to like Plagueis in the modern prequel era. Yeah.
It's not 1,000. It's like 950 or something.
Yeah.
It's like Darth Bane.
Just to shade off. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this. I guess we'll have to wait for more information because they're being intentionally vague right now. But
I'm not holding my breath that has anything to do with. I think at most it's going to have maybe beats from KOTOR, especially because the guy made those or helped make those games.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll want to reference it in some way, shape, or form.
I'm sure the Rakata will be in this at some, right? They've got to be.
I'm sure that will be an enemy somewhere or something, or you'll meet an old one that's like chill or something, and he'll talk about like the past or something.
Probably a Dantooine reference, like just
sure.
Easter eggs.
Trying to go to new places, right? So you wouldn't go to Dantooine. Depends. Like I said, they're trying to get a
new mention in there, right? They want the fans to connect with that to a degree, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll find the Ebon Hawk or something. The ship.
Yeah.
I
mean, I
don't think KOTOR 2 will really be mentioned because it didn't say he worked on KOTOR 2. They worked on KOTOR 1 and SWTOR.
Although he worked on SWTOR, so maybe a Darth Malgus reference somewhere in there. I mean, Malgus is technically alive again.
I don't think they will. I don't think they'll even touch it. I don't think they're going to touch Malgus. The most you're getting is Revan. I don't think Malgus is popular enough. I think it's popular among EU fans.
Yeah, it depends on, I think, how big the scope of the story of the game is. Because if it's huge and just truly immersive, you can slip so much in there.
I don't think Malgus, if I'm counting everything that happened in SWTOR, did anything lasting enough to be referenced a long time later. You don't hear about him ever in the
newest update had him and showed that he'd faked death for the third time.
I know that, but I'm saying in terms of what's his lasting impact?
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think there's anything there. I mean, if we're talking about just like in universe and I mean out of universe, like nobody references him in anything in 2014 or anything. Like there's no like Sith or somebody who likes like the dark side that like goes like, oh yeah, Malgus, that's the guy. That's the guy I'm like that makes me go like I want to do the same thing.
I heard more about Malik than Malgus to be probably.
And Malik too. Nobody talks about Malik.
Yeah.
He didn't really do much. Everybody remembers Revan. But nobody talks about Malik. So
that's because Revan had a cool mask. That's how you get the ladies. Mando.
Yeah, and all he had was a messed up jaw because he talked back to Revan. So but no, I think Revan will get mentioned. I think if anything, the Rakatan will become canon. It will become officially canon in this game. I think.
If it is,
I think the general story of Revan will still have happened. I think that's what they'll try to do if the game comes out.
How are they going
It
to
won't be
fit
the
it into
same
the
beat for
canon, do you
beat.
think?
I don't know enough about Disney canon to know how they would even attempt it.
Yeah,
You just have to
same.
ignore a lot of aspects of it, to make it fit.
I
I mean, there
think
are ways to do it, but
there's a best case sitenario, a worst case scenario, and
I
a
don't think SWTOR is going
likely
to be referenced
scenario.
whatsoever. So,
I think there's three main scenarios. There's an optimistic best case scenario that I would outline what I would hope to see from the game. There's what I actually think will happen, and there's a negative worst case scenario. I think the negative worst case scenario is kind of what you described, Alex, and that's but I'd take it a step further. I think it'll try to pseudo canonize the actual events of KOTOR into canon and mold it in a way that not only disrespects KOTOR, but also disrespects their own lore. Not that I care about the High Republic, but
yeah,
if this
for
does
those who
try to
do.
jam KOTOR into the new timeline, they're just gonna run all over it probably, depending on where they set it, and they're probably going to contradict some stuff that's already been set up in their new timeline. So I think worst case scenario, they contradict the heck out of KOTOR and contradict the heck out of their new timeline, try to force it in. Realistic
Yeah.
scenario, I think they'll be ambiguous about it, and they might have a vague, subtle reference here and there, but I don't think it'll be anything concrete. It'll be like how Revan was mentioned in the Rise of Skywalker visual dictionary. It'll be something throwaway, something that ultimately doesn't matter too much. I think that's kind
I
of
mean, I
a
think the
realistic
general,
thing. It'll be a self-contained story set within the new timeline, set at some point, and kind of allude to Revan, but maybe not canonizing the game. Which I
I
think
think
the
it will
worst
allude
case
to the
scenario would
game,
be
like in
them
terms of
trying to
like the
do that.
general story. I think it will mention the general story, like Revan lost
Right.
his memory, helped stop Malik, something like
But be
that,
vague about
and
specific events that can't really fit in the new timeline.
yeah, because then it's just like you just pick and choose basically.
Right.
But the
Yeah.
main thing will be that Revan was a Sith at one point, and then he turned back on it. That'll be the big
Yeah.
thing. And the Mandalorian wars are probably entirely ignored. They'll probably be a completely different situation because the
Yeah.
Mandalorian War is an entire thing that would probably cause a bunch of problems for them, considering they have the Mandalorian TV show and Boba Fett, and I don't think any of those
Yeah.
shows make any reference to that. I mean, they why would they? I mean, it's in a different time period, but if they continue Mandalorian lore, they don't want to contradict that. So, I
True.
mean, they could make the Mandalorian Wars canon but that would require hyperspace because otherwise, how small is this war? So I don't think they would do that. So it's gonna be some other conflict
And
that
I don't
Revan
see how
got.
the Star Forge works without hyperspace.
I
And
mean,
that's kind of
I don't know
integral
if
to
they'll
Revan's
use the Star
story.
Forge.
You
I
don't
don't know if
think?
they will. I think they'll have some. I don't think they're gonna be that specific about it. I just gonna be
They're
like
going to
there
be
was.
super vague.
I mean,
I
like
think them being
he was
super
a
vague
Sith or
about it is the
Jedi, and he
most.
stopped some other Sith.
Yeah. I think them being vague about it is the most realistic expectation. And like I
Like
said,
I
worst
actually
case
think it's
scenario is them just jamming
yeah.
it together.
Yeah, I actually think it's too optimistic to even think we'll see Rakata. I mean, I think it'd be cool. I don't think they'll do
Yeah.
it because if they do it, that's a whole bunch of baggage they have to include there to
Very
explain.
true.
So,
I think the optimistic, never going to happen scenario, best case scenario for what I want to see from the game would be that they just full on say this is set in Legends. It's a sequel to KOTOR and SWOTOR, define a year that they're setting it in, and then reference both of those games and tie up some of the loose threads from those and set it in that period between SWOTOR and Knight Errant where literally nothing important happens and just nothing happens. They could even set it after Knight Errant and resolve some of the stuff from Knight Errant if they wanted. But I
yeah,
think ideally, in the perfect scenario, they'd set it between SWOTOR and Knight Errant, maybe even set some stuff up from that era in this ideal dreamlike heavenly scenario where things actually matter to lore. And they'd brand it Legends, give it a year, and like actually tie up some threads from those other games and just um, be a sequel. I
yeah,
think that's what I'd like to see, and that's obviously the most optimistic best case scenario. But I don't see it happening. I do trust to an extent the original creator because they've had a good track record. So
yeah.
even if they're setting this in
I'm sure the
canon,
story will be good.
they might make a cool game, or at least parts of it cool.
I bet it. I'm betting if it actually comes out, it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just
If it
just
does
based on
come out, I'm not convinced that it will. Like the KOTOR remake, where is it? Where'd it
yeah.
go?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
that's
So
different.
will
A
we
remake
see
is a bit
KOTOR?
more. I mean, if they're putting a bunch of money into this, and it's more
further
likely to
along
come.
already. That's
But
true.
the other one, it's like, how do you the KOTOR remake? It's like, what's being remade? Because like, if it's not the same gameplay, then it's like a completely different experience entirely.
Right.
And then it's like, is it canon? Is it legends? Like, how much of that is being changed around? Like
It's an
this, at
even
least, it's
less
like they can kind of do whatever they want.
certain. Yeah, a remake is way less certain for like its ambiguity. It's like it's just so
Because
uncertain.
if
The
it's
remake.
canon, then it's not legends. But then it's not a remake of the game that you said it's a
Exactly.
remake. You know, so this, it's
Exactly.
like they have kind of the freedom. They've already said it's going to be
It's
original
such an odd
story.
one. I honestly hope it never comes out
I
because
don't
it
know.
would just be so messy.
It would be, but
This one, I think, has the potential to be less messy.
yeah,
I think there is a chance that they go so ambiguous with it being a standalone story and keep the references so light that it could fit into either. There's a chance they do that as well.
yeah, it could. I mean, like I said, I mean, if they don't give a specific time period, then you could, and it has nothing really to do with Revan or anything that would inherently contradict it. Then you just could just headcanon it in that in between spot and just accept it. You know, I suppose if you
Yeah,
played the game and liked it. I
I
know
guess
people
so.
try to do that already with other things that don't work, like Jedi Fallen Order and stuff,
Yeah,
but
that does not fit in the EU,
does
in
not
my
fit.
opinion.
You know, I mean,
Does not fit.
I have watched the cutscenes just because I like
Me as well.
I like the guy in it because he played Jerome slash Jeremiah on Gotham, and he was in Shameless. He's a good actor,
Yeah, the
so
shame. Yeah.
I
Shameless.
wanted to
You like
see.
Shameless?
I've seen Shameless, yeah,
Oh dang, I didn't know that.
but so I
Yeah, it's
wanted
a
to
good
see what it
show.
was all about. And like the first, and I don't think either of those games are bad. I think they have perfectly fine stories. There's nothing. I'm not like a Disney hater just to be a hater. Like those stories are fine as far as games go.
Yeah,
It's
they weren't mind
fine.
blowing. Like
No, yeah,
they weren't like KOTOR level storytelling or like
but yeah.
I'd
They're
say even
I'll
like
say
Jedi Academy
objectively, they
level,
might be
but they were
written a little bit better
serviceable.
than they might be written a little bit better than The Force Unleashed, at least two.
Yeah, they're about that level. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So,
yeah,
but like
I'd say so.
I liked Cal Kestis, but it just would not fit in Legends, which some people go like, I could shove it in there. It's after episode 3. It's like, what does that contradict? I'm like, a lot. They have also
For real.
Dathomir in there and has a bunch of stuff.
Also,
But like
they
once Jorah
contradict
saw me
they
off, like,
contradict the Force Unleashed as well.
yeah,
And
that
like
too.
if you put Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order into the EU, it just like muddies so much for Vader and the Inquisitors as well. Like I guess
Yeah.
they're just constantly doing stuff in multiple places. Like there's just like no room for it.
I do like his little line near the end of the first game where I think one thing Disney has done fairly well from the little I've seen is just anything to do with Vader. I feel like they have the right aura. They have the right respect whenever he shows up on screen.
Vader.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
like in the game, you know, immediately it's like you've been beating. I haven't played it, but he's beating bad guys throughout the entire game. But there's not even an attempt. Like Starkiller gets to fight Vader, but Cal, no, you're running away. That's the best you can do. And you know when he goes like, "You have failed me, Inquisitor." I'm like, okay, it's a good scene. It's a good scene. I can't
Yeah.
lie. I can't lie. You know, so
Vader has aura.
he does have aura in either continuity. So um,
Yeah. Eh, except for a few of those new Vader
except
comics.
for Kenobi, from this few clips I've seen, I
Ugh.
thought that was strange.
It's like a fan
It's not
film. They thought that was tough.
like, that's
What
the
the
only time I've
frick?
ever saw Vader and been like, this is lame. It's like, no,
Yeah,
you destroyed me or whatever.
it would
Yeah,
include. Yeah, exactly this. Like if they do canonize if this new game is in the new timeline and they mention Revan, it doesn't mean that the exact Revan from the EU is a part of canon.
no.
It means that there's a separate version, right? We understand how
I mean, a separate
separate
version already
continuities work.
exists. His name is in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. Alex, can you confirm that you're shameless about watching Shameless?
Oh, I'm so shameless. I'm also shameless that I've watched all of Gossip Girl and loved it.
What
And the OC.
really is Gossip Girl worth checking out?
I think so. But
Would I
I
be able to be a straight man if I still watched Gossip Girl?
I think so. I mean, it's mostly
Okay.
about straight relationships. It's just very teenage, like
Teenage angsty.
just talk. Like,
Mm.
why are you all being so stupid? Just talk. But
It's like the
I like.
plot could have been solved with a 15-minute
Oh yeah,
conversation.
but it's on the CW, so that's why.
Yeah.
To
And it
see a
lasts
problem
like
with
6
Vice
seasons.
Arrow. Yeah,
6 seasons of raunchy teenage sex and
I
drama.
mean, they do have sex, but it's not like you ever get to see it because they're teenagers. So
Dang it. That's why I wanted to watch it.
you're
Bruh.
live, Brendan.
Oh shoot, I forgot. No,
Oh, it's Epstein right here.
oh, I forgot I'm not really a teenager anymore, bro.
Not
Yeah,
you're an adult.
Shameless is a good show. It tackles poverty really well. Obviously, I'm kidding about all that stuff, but Shameless does a good job in depicting poverty, and the acting is incredible. Especially from William H. Macy, who I thought was really solid in it. Despicable
Also,
character, but he plays it really well.
Penn Badgley is Joe Goldberg on You.
Oh yeah,
He's a
You is a
stalker.
great show. I love You. You've seen
Yeah,
You?
and he's one of the main characters of Gossip Girl. It's another reason to watch it.
Oh,
And then
okay.
Blake Lively, Ryan
Is
Reynolds'
that
wife.
Ryan Reynolds' wife? The one in the drama with Taylor Swift
Yeah, she's the one of the main characters of the show.
in Gossip Girl? I actually didn't know
That's
that.
before.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
why Deadpool references Gossip Girl.
yeah. That's why he said. That's why he says whenever I watch
Oh,
Gossip Girl, he has more
yeah, yeah, yeah,
bones in
yeah,
his
yeah.
body because his
That's
wife's in it.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I watched that before. I was watching that show before Ryan Reynolds even married her. That's how
You. It
OG
should have
I
been
am.
you. Should have been you. Is that what you're saying?
No, she's like 40. That'd be
Oh,
weird.
that's valid.
Yeah. Also, when that show came out, or when I was watching it, she was like probably late 20s, early 30s. And I was like a teenager, so that would have been bad.
Hmm.
No. Ryan Reynolds could deal with all that nonsense. That's fine. I'm good.
Thanks for explaining all of that for us. I appreciate it.
You're you're welcome.
Also,
It's very
Shameless had the actor from The Bear. What's his name again?
yes.
Um. Oh, I'm forgetting his
Jeremy Allen
name.
White.
It's
Jeremy Allen
Jeremy
White.
Allen White. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Great
I love
actor.
the Bear.
Was
Bear's a great
Shameless his
show.
start?
That just restarted, I think. But also
Hmm.
with the redhead, Cameron Monaghan. What I think is amazing too is that I think I've said this before, but Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, Joker in the '90s animated Batman series, and this guy, Jeremiah, Mr. J on Gotham, Cal Kestis in Star Wars. So they did a reverse.
Hmm.
Now, the reason I say Jeremiah, Mr. J is because Warner Bros. Is stupid. And at the time, the Joker movie was coming out, and they didn't want audiences to get confused because they can't understand a different version. So the entire point of Gotham was to be like an origin story for a bunch of villains that Batman would face later. And they decided, okay, but Joker you can't use. So you can have people that are like proto Jokers that inspire Joker, which is dumb because if Joker's inspired by somebody else, that ruins his appeal.
Yeah.
Um, but then Cameron Monaghan did such a good job that they just kept bringing him back. And so We had Jerome, and then we had Jeremiah, and then we had Mr. J, all of which act exactly like the Joker outside of makeup until Jeremiah starts wearing makeup. And in everything but name, it is the Joker. He's one of the best live action Jokers. He just is never allowed to be called the Joker.
The Joker.
Yeah. So it's just a
Speaking
funny
kind of
concept.
shows, Boys season 5. The Boys season 5 is next year. Will they right
Yeah.
the ship from Boys season 4 being kind of a slump in the first bad season? I don't know if you've seen From. It's an Australian mystery box show. It's really good. Season 4 is coming out next year. And they're filming Severance season 3 next year. So lots of exciting stuff. Stranger Things season 5, I guess, is ending in Christmas as well. Hot take, I don't think the show's that good this season. I think the lines are not great. I think the dialogue's been down from previous seasons. And it might just be because I don't care by this point. It's been so long. But I don't know. Are you excited about any of that?
This is
Boy
having
season 5 or
Supernatural reunion.
Severance season 3 or From? Are you excited about any of those?
Severance season 3? Yeah, of course, Severance.
It's going to be hype, right?
But in terms of what was talking about before, talking about am I blanking right now? Oh my
Photor?
gosh. No,
No.
never mind. I lost
Shameless.
it. I'm an old man.
Gossip Girl.
No,
Joe
I lost
Goldberg
it.
being a sexy serial killer in You.
Sure. You know,
Okay.
actually, funny story, completely separate from whatever I was going to say. But when I was in high school, the only reason I watched Gossip Girl in the first place was because two girls in my film class said that I looked like him.
I
So
see
I went.
you.
They're like, "You look like Dan Humphrey." I'm like, "Who the frick is Dan Humphrey?" So I go to
You had
watch
to
the
do your
Gossip Girl.
research, right?
Yeah, I didn't know. I only planned on watching the first episode, but then I found myself watching the entire show. It's like a guilty pleasure.
It pulled you in. Let's go.
It did.
I'm getting
So
behind
let's
on
say
these
future
comments.
content
I'll try to
action.
catch up. Yeah, I know. I don't think it fits. I don't
Yeah,
see
but
how
Joe
it
includes
does.
everything. He tries to make it all
Yeah.
work.
Force Unleashed, I think, fits better because despite a few contradictions, it was meant to be in that timeline, and EU material that wasn't Force Unleashed also connected to it. So, like, there were online articles that made reference to it, and on StarWars.com and Hyperspace articles that made reference to it. So, I think Force Unleashed fits it better, and was also intended. So, I don't know. I don't know. We've got some Gossip Girl fans in the chat repping for Alex. Malcolm in the Middle,
Oh, you
the
don't
sitcom.
think I'm the type to like. I do like Gilmore Girls. I've watched all of that too. I've watched all of Dawson's Creek, The OC. Do you see a pattern here? Pretty Little Liars. All of it. I've seen it all.
Mean Girls.
Yeah, the movie. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, it's a good
that
movie.
tracks. All right, things are adding up.
Exactly. I'm not afraid to admit it.
You're just educated on all genres.
Exactly.
Looking for literary value wherever you can.
If you want to be an actor, you got to see it in all of its forms.
Yes. All right, I'm in the clear. They're 20-year-old actors.
Oh, you're right. You're good. You won't get in trouble.
Okay. Andre says I'm all right. I'm with him.
All right. So if you watch it,
yeah, Rivendell. That's an infamous example. And now Stranger Things is the other infamous example where it's like 25-year-olds playing 16-year-olds.
That's only because they took so long between each season.
I know, it's horrible, dude.
Like, I'm sorry, season 1 came out when I was still in high school.
What about this one, Alex?
Oh, I'm the 14th reason. But yeah, I've seen it. I enjoyed the first season.
I've been told to watch this by a girl, actually.
I don't think it should have been multiple seasons. But I
should I watch it? Season. Should I simp?
If you want to. I think a film that would only require 2 hours of your time, or it's like an hour and a half, that does a similar sort of idea. It's not the same, but it's similar. would be Perks of Being a Wallflower, which also has a guy that looks familiar with him. I love Perks of Being a Wallflower. But yeah, it's good. I only watched season 1 and 2. I think there's like 3 seasons, but I dropped off in the second. So that I can't speak for the whole show. Season 1, yeah. Lindsay, Freaky Friday is peak childhood film. Are you kidding me? Not Freakier Friday or whatever they just released, but Freaky Friday is a certified classic banger. It is so good. Such a good movie. So much fun. You know, you want to go older? You want to go back to before I was born, but I watched it growing up? Okay, Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. That movie. Bussin'.
Okay, I know that one.
Bussin'.
The Parent Trap remake.
Yeah, Emma Watson and Perks of Being a Wallflower was, yeah.
He's not wrong. I'll just
Why do
leave this
people
one up
choose
for a little while
the
because
wrong
it's
people to
valid.
date? We accept the love we think we deserve. Yes, I have seen 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You is so good.
We had Joseph Gordon-Levitt in that movie. Was a little kid. Crazy.
That's right, dude. That movie was from 1999. That's crazy.
We're old.
I mean, I wasn't born until 7 years after that, but it's a good movie.
98. I wasn't born until 2001, but I grew up watching that movie. Tell you what.
Yeah.
The Muppet movie? Not the one with Jason Segel. I mean, the original one.
What about the Scooby-Doo movies in the early 2000s?
Of course. Like, they were good, man.
Bangers,
that guy had so
bro.
much
Bangers.
fun. Like James Gunn. Like his best films.
That's very, yeah. Better than Superman.
I like Superman.
Yeah, I do too. I'm in college right now. And so I'm
500 Days of Summer. Sorry. Another good
I'm
one.
taking a lot. That's peak reference. Yeah, 2006, baby. About to be 20 in like 4 months. Alex will be in our 20s together.
Yeah, about to be.
The big 2-0.
It's all downhill from here.
Well, frick.
My 25-year warranty is about to expire. So
we're closer in age than I always thought.
Well, you notice those gaps don't seem so strange once you become an adult.
Yeah. Maybe it was strange when we were
2025.
friends when we were like 12 and 17.
Yeah, well, maybe. I didn't think about it too much.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Guess it's not strange.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't make it strange.
No.
Also, your parents were like checked on me to make sure I wasn't some weirdo. So that also helped. So, and you guys sent me a bunch of books.
We did do that. You came
left
over
me a
to
card.
our house.
You and your parents. I did come over to your house,
did.
but that was when you were older, like way older.
That was this year.
In my own bedroom. That was cool. So I slept in my own bedroom.
I didn't think we needed to clarify, but okay.
You never know. You never know what they might clip, you know.
Yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Yes, I've seen Princess Diaries. Stop mentioning things I love. Frick you.
You've pegged Alex for who he truly is. This is a story that I read for one of my lit classes this year, and it's probably my favorite thing I read. We read a lot of great stuff. We read wow, words are hard. We read some Shakespeare. We read some Gilgamesh. We read some works from Aristotle, and we read the Odyssey. We read some of Aesop's fables, stuff I'd already read in high school, but really peak stuff. So it was really nice to get some of them.
I have the best takes, obviously.
Bro, some chick flicks. There's some solid ones. The Notebook is a banger, low key. Um, yeah, I'd read a lot of it in high school, but it's been really fun to read it again. But I think this I'd never read before.
I've read
It's
The Luck
written by a
Reading.
former Marine who was in the Vietnam War. And I thought I'd share it with everyone. I thought Alex would enjoy it too. So I guess
I
before
know
we
Tim
wrap up,
O'Brien.
do you wanna read this one? You know Tim O'Brien? He's a
Yeah, I've heard
veteran.
this. Mm,
Yeah, do you want to take a paragraph or something like that?
sure,
If my voice
but
allows. I might need to sub out, but we'll see.
okay. First, Lieutenant Jimmy Cross carried letters from a girl named Martha, junior at Mount Sebastian College, New Jersey. They're not love letters, but Lieutenant Cross was hoping, so he kept them folded in plastic at the bottom of his rucksack. In late afternoon, after a day's march, he would dig his foxhole with his hands under a canteen, unwrap the letters, hold them with the tip of his fingers, and spend the last hour of light pretending. He would imagine romantic camping trips into the White Mountains in New Hampshire. He would sometimes taste the envelope flaps, knowing her tongue had been there. More than anything, he wanted Martha to love him as he loved her, but the letters were mostly chatty, elusive on the matter of love. She was a virgin, he was almost sure. She was an English major at Mount Sebastian. She wrote beautifully about
Dude, me too.
yeah. Wrote
That's
beautifully
so
about her
real,
professor,
twin. Me and her are twinning so hard right now.
apparently. About her professors and roommates and midterm exams. About her respect for Chaucer. I love
Chaucer, the
Chaucer.
goat. You
The
like
goat.
Chaucer?
Yeah, and Virginia Woolf. And a great
Bro,
affection for Virginia Woolf. She
let's
often
go.
quoted lines of poetry. She never mentioned the war except to say, Jimmy, take care of yourself. Letters weigh 10 ounces. They're signed love, Martha. But Lieutenant Cross understood that love was the only way of signing. Did not mean what he sometimes pretended it meant. At dusk, he would carefully return the letters to his rucksack. And slowly, a bit distracted, he would get up and move among his men, checking the perimeter. Then, in the full dark, he returned to his hole and watched the night and wondered if Martha was a virgin.
The things they carried were largely determined by necessity. Among the necessities or near necessities were P38 can openers, pocket knives, heat tabs, wristwatches, dog tags, mosquito repellent, chewing gum, candy, cigarettes, salt tablets, packets of Kool-Aid, lighters, matches, sewing kits, military payment certificates, sea rations, and 2 or 3 canteens of water. Together, these items weighed between 15 and 20 pounds, depending upon a man's habits or rate of metabolism. Henry Dobbins, who was a big man, carried extra rations. He was especially fond of canned peaches in heavy syrup over poured cake. Dave Jensen, who practiced field hygiene, carried a toothbrush, dental floss, and several hotel-sized bars of soap he'd stolen on R&R in Sydney, Australia. Ted Lavender, who was scared, carried tranquilizers until he was shot in the head outside the village of Thon Key in mid-April. By necessity, and because it was SOP, they all carried steel helmets that weighed 5 pounds, including the liner and camouflage cover. They carried the standard fatigue jackets and trousers. Very few carried underwear. On their feet, they carried jungle boots, 2.1 pounds, and Dave Jensen carried 3 pairs of socks and a can of Dr. Scholl's foot powder as a precaution against trench foot. Until he was shot, Ted Lavender carried 6 or 7 ounces of premium dope, which for him was a necessity. Mitchell Sanders, the RTO, carried condoms. Norman Boker carried a diary. Rat Kiley carried comic books. He's just like us. What do we think he had, Alex? I'm guessing Republic
Uh,
or Legacy?
I was going to say Tales of the Jedi.
Tales of the Jedi? Do you think he's got Empire's End? Empire's End in that bag?
I don't think so.
He's not looking at naked Palpatine in Vietnam?
I
That's
think I
fair.
think he's I think he wants to keep his sanity, and I think that's only going to destroy it.
He's got enough to
Like
deal with
that's
the
mine.
Viet Cong, so he doesn't want to read naked Palps.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to see like wrinkly balls as you go to war?
I don't want to see wrinkly balls ever. What if
Okay.
he's got NJO invasion?
Dude,
So
dude,
that's
he's
why
going
he shot
straight to the
himself.
That's a, whoa. There you go.
That was the last thing he read. Yeah.
I would too.
Rat 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 Kiley carried comic books. Kiowa, a devout Baptist, carried an illustrated New Testament that had been presented to him by his father, who taught Sunday school in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. As a hedge against bad times, however, Kiowa also carried his grandmother's distrust of the white man, his grandfather's old hunting hatchet. Necessity dictated. Because the land was mined and booby-trapped, it was SOP for each man to carry a steel-centered, nylon-covered flak jacket, which weighed 6.7 pounds, but which on hot days seemed much heavier. Because you could die so quickly, each man carried at least one large compressed bandage, usually in the helmet band for easy access. Because the nights were cold and because the monsoons were wet, each carried a green plastic poncho that could be used as a raincoat or ground sheet or makeshift tent. With its quilted liner, the poncho weighed almost 2 pounds, but it was worth every ounce. In April, for instance, when Ted Lavender was shot, they used his poncho to wrap him up, then to carry him across the paddy, then to lift him into the chopper that took him away. They were called legs or grunts. You can take the next two.
To carry something was to hump him, as when Lieutenant Jimmy Cross humped his love for Martha up the hills and through the swamps. In this intransitive form, to hump meant to walk or to march, but imply burdens far beyond the intransitive. Almost everyone humped photographs. In his wallet, Lieutenant Cross carried 2 photographs of Martha. First was a Kodacolor snapshot signed Love, though he knew better. She stood against a brick wall. Her eyes were gray neutral, her lips slightly open as she stared straight on at the camera. At night, sometimes, Lieutenant Cross wondered who had taken the picture, because he knew she had boyfriends, because he loved her so much, because he could see the shadow of the picture taker spreading out against the brick wall. Second photograph had been clipped from the 1968 Mount Sebastian yearbook. It was an action shot. Women's volleyball. Martha was bent horizontal to the floor, reaching the palms of her hands in sharp
Why'd
focus.
you read it like
I'm
that?
just getting the character.
Bro's been watching too much. Bro's been watching too much Gossip Girl.
Tug taut, expression frank, competitive. There's no visible sweat. She wore white gym shorts. Her legs, he thought, were almost certainly the legs of a virgin. Dry, without hair, left knee cocked and carrying her entire weight, which is just over 100 pounds. Lieutenant Cross was able to remember touching that left knee. Dark theater, he remembered. In the movie was Bonnie and Clyde. And
Like the
Martha
Eminem song.
wore a tweed skirt. And during the final scene when he touched her knee, she turned and looked at him in a sad, sober way that made him pull his hand back. But he'd always remember the feel of the tweed skirt and the knee beneath it and the sound of the gunfire that killed Bonnie and Clyde. How embarrassing it was, how slow and oppressive. He remembered kissing her goodnight at the dorm door. Right then, he thought, should have done something brave. Should have carried her up the stairs to her room and tied her to the bed and touched that left knee all night long. What? Should have risked it. Whenever he looked at the photographs, he thought of the new things he should have done. What they carried was partly a function of rank, partly a field specialty. As a first lieutenant, or are you going? I don't know.
Oh, I can do the next like 3 short ones and give you the next big one if you want.
I guess so.
Should I try my hand at an accent?
I don't know. I just kind of did it instinctively. I don't know. It sounds like a southerner.
Yeah, it does. As someone
Uh,
in Arkansas, it sounds like people I know. Um, as a first lieutenant and platoon leader, Jimmy Cross carried a compass, maps, code books, binoculars, and a 45 caliber pistol that weighed 2.9 pounds fully loaded. He carried a strobe light and the responsibility for the lives of his men. As an RTO, Mitchell Sanders carried the PRC-25 radio, a killer, 26 pounds with its battery. As a medic, Rat Kiley carried a canvas satchel filled with morphine and plasma and malaria tablets and surgical tape and comic books and all the things a medic must carry, including M&Ms for especially bad wounds, for a total weight of nearly 20 pounds. As a big man, therefore, a machine gunner, Henry Dobbins carried the M60, which weighed 23 pounds unloaded, but which was almost always loaded. In addition, Dobbins carried between 10 and 15 pounds of ammunition draped in belts across his chest and shoulders.
Okay.
You can grab it.
Uh, as PFCs or Spec 4s, most of them were common grunts. Carried a standard M16 gas operated assault rifle. Weapon weighed 7.5 pounds unloaded, 8.2 pounds of the full 20 round magazine. Depending on numerous factors, such as topography, psychology, the rifleman carried anywhere from 12 to 20 magazines, usually in cloth bandoliers, adding on another 8.4 pounds at minimum, 14 pounds maximum. When available, they also carried M16 maintenance gear. Knot rods, steel brushes, swabs, and tubes, LSA oil, all of which weighed about a pound. Among the grunts, some carried the M79 grenade launcher, 5.1 pounds unloaded. Reasonably light weapon, except for the ammunition, which was heavy. Single round weighed 10 ounces. Typical load was 25 rounds, but Ted Lavender, who was scared, carried 34 rounds when he was shot and killed outside Ton Key, and he went down under an exceptional burden. More than 20 pounds of ammunition, plus the flak jacket, helmet, rations, water and toilet paper, tranquilizers, and all the rest, plus the unweighted fear. He was dead weight. No twitching or flopping. Hoya, who saw it happen, says like watching a rock fall or a big sandbag or something. Just boom, then down. I like the movies with the dead guy rolls around, does fancy spins, and goes ass over to kettle. Not like that. Koala said, poor bastard just flat frick fell. Boom. Down. Nothing else. It was a bright morning, mid-April. Sitting across felt the pain, blamed himself. He stripped off Lavender's canteens and ammo, all the heavy things, and Rat Killy said the obvious. The guy's dead. Mitchell Sanders used his radio to report on US KIA and request a chopper. Then they wrapped Lavender in his poncho, carried him out to a dry paddy, established security, sat smoking the dead man's dope until the chopper came. Henry Cross kept to himself. He pictured Martha's smooth young face, thinking he loved her more than anything, more than his man. And now Ted Lavender was dead because he loved her so much he could not stop thinking about her. When the dust off arrived, they carried Lavender aboard. Afterwards, they burned Tonke. They marched until dusk, then dug their holes, and that night Koa kept explaining how you had to be there, how fast it was. Now the poor guy just dropped like so much concrete. Boom, down, he said, like cement.
In addition to the three standard weapons, the M60, M16, and M79, they carried whatever presented itself, or whatever seemed appropriate as a means of killing or staying alive. See, they carried catch as catch can. At various times in various situations, they carried M14s and CAR 15s, and Swedish Ks and grease guns, and captured AK 47s, and Chai Coms and RPGs, and Simonov carbines, black market Uzis, and 38 caliber Smith & Wesson handguns, and 66 millimeter LAWs, and shotguns, and silencers, and blackjacks, and bayonets, and C4 plastic explosives. Lee Strunk carried a slingshot, weapon of last resort, he called it. Mitchell Sanders carried brass knuckles. Kiowa carried his grandfather's feathered hatchet. Every third or fourth man carried a claymore, anti-personnel mine, 3.5 pounds with its firing device. They all carried fragmentation grenades, 14 ounces each. They all carried at least one M18 colored smoke grenade, 24 ounces. Some carried CS or tear gas grenades. Some carried white phosphorus grenades. They carried all they could bear, and then some, including a silent awe for the terrible power of the things they carried.
The first week April, before Lavender died, Lieutenant Jimmy Cross received a good luck charm from Martha. Simple pebble, an ounce at most, smooth to touch. Its milky white color reflects orange and violet, oval shaped like a miniature egg. In the accompanying letter, Martha wrote that she had found the pebble on the Jersey shoreline, precisely where the land touched water at high tide, where things came together but also separated. It was this separate but together quality, she wrote, that had inspired her to pick up the pebble and carry it to her breast pocket for several days where it seemed weightless, and then send it through the mail by air as a token of her truest feelings for him. Lieutenant Cross found this romantic, but he wondered what her truest feelings were exactly, what she meant by separate but together. He wondered how the tides and waves had come into play on that afternoon along the Jersey shoreline where Martha saw the pebble and bent down to rescue it from geology. Imagine bare feet.
Hmm.
Martha was a poet with a poet's sensibilities, and her feet would be brown and bare, toenails unpainted, eyes chilly and somber like the ocean in March. Though it
Hmm.
was painful, he wondered who had been with her that afternoon. Man, imagine a pair of shadows moving along the strip of sand where things came together but also separated. It was a phantom jealousy. He knew, but he couldn't help himself. He loved her so much. On the march, through the hot days of early April, he carried the pebble in his mouth, turning it with his tongue, tasting sea salt, moisture. His mind wandered. He had difficulty keeping his attention on the war. And on occasion, he would yell at his men to spread out the column to keep their eyes open, but then he'd slip away into daydreams, just pretending, walking barefoot along the Jersey shore of Martha, caring nothing. He would feel himself rising, sun. You maybe skip a bit.
I'm sorry.
You're okay. Sun and waves and gentle winds, all love and lightness. What they carried varied by mission. When a mission took them to the mountains, they carried mosquitoes, netting, machetes, canvas tarps, and extra bug juices. If a mission seemed especially hazardous, or if it involved a place they knew to be bad, they carried everything they could. In certain heavily mined AOs, where the land was dense with toe poppers and bouncing betties, it took turns humping a 20-pound mine detector. With its headphones and big sensing plates, the equipment was a stress on the lower back and shoulders. Awkward to handle, often useless because of shrapnel on the earth, but they carried it anyway, partly for safety, partly for the illusion of safety.
On ambush or other night missions, they carried peculiar little odds and ends. Kiowa always took along his New Testament and a pair of moccasins for silence. Dave Jansen carried night sight vitamins high in carotene. Lee Strunk carried his slingshot, ammo he claimed would never be a problem. Rat Kiley carried brandy and M&M's candy. Until he was shot, Ted Lavender carried the Starlight scope, which weighed 6.3 pounds with its aluminum carrying case. Henry Dobbins carried his girlfriend's pantyhose wrapped around his neck as a comforter. They all carried ghosts. When dark came, they would move out single file across the meadows and paddies to their ambush coordinates, where they would quietly set up the claymores and lie down and spend the night waiting. Other missions were more complicated and required special equipment. In mid April, it was their mission to search out and destroy the elaborate tunnel complexes in the Than Cay area south of Chu Lai. To blow the tunnels, they carried 1-pound blocks of pentrite high explosives, 4 blocks to a man, 68 pounds in all. They carried wiring, detonators, and battery powered clackers. Dave Jensen carried earplugs. Most often, before blowing the tunnels, they were ordered by higher command to search them, which was considered bad news, but by and large, they just shrugged and carried out orders. Because he was a big man, Henry Dobbins was excused from tunnel duty. The others would draw numbers. Before Lavender died, there were 17 men in the platoon. Whoever drew the number 17 would strip off his gear and crawl in headfirst with a flashlight and Lieutenant Cross's .45 caliber pistol. The rest of them would fan out as security. They would sit down or kneel, not facing the hole, listening to the ground beneath them, imagining cobwebs and ghosts, whatever was down there, the tunnel walls squeezing in, how the flashlight seemed impossibly heavy in the hand, now it was tunnel vision in the very strictest sense, compression in all ways, even time, and how you had to wiggle in, butt and elbows, a swallowed up feeling. Now you found yourself worrying about odd things. Will your flashlight go dead? Do rats carry rabies? If you screamed, how far would the sound carry? Would your buddies hear it? Would they have the courage to drag you out? In some respects, though not many, the waiting was worse than the tunnel itself. Imagination was a killer.
Man, imagine somebody like just coming into this live stream. You're like, what? I thought this is about Star Wars.
Where's the fate of the old republic?
It's like, bro, you're like an hour behind.
Yeah.
On April 16, release Strong drew the
What
number
do you think of it so
17.
far, Alex?
I like it.
It's a good
I
writing
think
style.
I do think it's a bit long-winded, I'd say,
Oh yeah,
for a
but I think
for a
I think
short
that's
story.
purposeful. I think it comes full circle by the end.
Okay,
I think the
fair enough.
long-windedness serves a greater purpose that kind of crystallized to me at the end because I thought it was a bit like you said, exposition heavy on certain things. But I felt like it had a purpose by the end of it. So let me know what you think by the end as well. That's how I felt by this point.
On April 16, when Lee Strunk drew the number 17, he laughed and muttered something went down quickly. Morning was hot, very still. Not good, Koya said. Looked at the tunnel opening, then out across the dry paddy toward the village of Tonki. Nothing moved. No clouds, or birds, or people. As they waited, men smoked and drank Kool-Aid, not talking much, feeling sympathy for Lee Strunk, but also feeling the luck of the draw. You win some, you lose some, said Mitchell Sanders, and sometimes he said it for a rain check. It's tire line. No one laughed. Henry Dobigans ate a tropical chocolate bar. Ted Lavender popped a tranquilizer and went off to pee. After 5 minutes, Lieutenant Jimmy Cross moved to the tunnel, leaned down, examined the darkness. Trouble, he thought, a cave-in, maybe. Then suddenly, without willing it, he was thinking about Martha. Stresses, fractures, quick collapse, 2 of them buried alive under all that weight. Dense, crushing love, kneeling, watching the hole. Tried to protect his trunk in the war, all the dangers, but his love was too much for him. Felt paralyzed. He wanted to sleep inside her lungs, breathe her blood, be smothered. Wanted her to be a virgin and not a virgin all at once. He wanted to know her. Intimate secrets. Why poetry? Why so sad? Why the grayness in her eyes? Why so alone? Not lonely, just alone. Riding her bike across campus and not by herself in the cafeteria, even dancing. She danced alone. It was the aloneness that filled him with love. Remember telling her that evening how she nodded and looked away. While later, when he kissed her, she received the kiss without returning, eyes wide open, not afraid, and a virgin's eyes, just flat, uninvolved. Lieutenant Cross gazed at the tunnel, but he's not there. He's buried with Martha under the white sand of the Jersey shore. They pressed together. The pebble in his mouth was her tongue. He was smiling, vaguely. He was aware of how quiet the day was, a soul in patties, yet he could not bring himself to worry about matters of security. He was beyond that. Just a kid at war, in love. He was 24 years old. Couldn't help it. A few minutes later, Lee Strong crawled out of the tunnel. He came up grinning, filthy but alive. Lieutenant Cross nodded, closed his eyes with those claps Strunk on the back, and made jokes about rising from the dead.
Worms, Rat Kelly said. Right out of the grave. Freaking zombie. The men laughed. They all felt great relief. Spooky city, said Mitchell Sanders. Lee Strunk made a funny ghost sound, a kind of moaning, yet very happy, and right then, when Strunk made that high, happy moaning sound, when he went, ooh, right then, Ted Lavender was shot in the head on his way back from peeing. He lay with his mouth open. The teeth were broken. There was a swollen black bruise under his left eye. The cheekbone was gone. Oh, Rat Kiley said. The guy's dead. The guy's dead, he kept saying, which seemed profound. The guy's dead. I mean, really. The things they carried were determined to some extent by superstition. Lieutenant Cross carried his good luck pebble. Dave Jensen carried a rabbit's foot. Norman Boker, otherwise a very gentle person, carried a thumb that had been presented to him as a gift by Mitchell Sanders. The thumb was dark brown, rubbery to the touch, and weighed 4 ounces at most. It had been cut from a VC corpse, a boy of 15 or 16. They'd found him at the bottom of an irrigation ditch, badly burned, flies in his mouth and eyes. The boy wore black shorts and sandals. At the time of his death, he had been carrying a pouch of rice, a rifle, and 3 magazines of ammunition. You want my opinion, Mitchell Sanders said. There's a definite moral here. He put his hand on the dead boy's wrist. He was quiet for a time, as if counting a pulse. Then he patted the stomach, almost affectionately, and used Kiowa's hunting hatchet to remove the thumb. Henry Dobbins asked what the moral was. Moral? You know, moral. Sanders wrapped the thumb in toilet paper and handed it across to Norman Boker. There was no blood. Smiling, he kicked the boy's head, watched the flies scatter, and said, "It's like with that old TV show Paladin. Have gun, will travel." Henry Dobbins thought about it. "Yeah, well," he finally said, "I don't see no moral." "There it is, man. Screw off."
They carried USO stationery and pencils and pens. Carried sterno, safety pins, trip flares, signal flares, spools of wire, razor blades, chewing tobacco, liberated joss sticks, and statuettes of the smiling Buddha. Candles, grease pencils, stars and stripes, fingernail clippers, psyop, leaflets, bush hats, bolos, much more. Twice a week, when the resupply choppers came in, they carried hot chow and green mermite cans and large canvas bags filled with ice beer and soda pop. Carried plastic water containers, each with a 2-gallon capacity. Mitchell Sanders carried a set of starched tiger fatigues for special occasions. Henry Dobbins carried black flag insecticide. Dave Jensen carried empty sandbags that could be filled at night for added protection. Lee Strunk carried tanning lotion, something they carried in common. Taking turns, they carried the big PRC-77 scrambler radio, which weighed 30 pounds with his battery. They shared the weight of memory, took up what others could no longer bear, and often they carried each other, the wounded or weak. They carried infections. Carried chess sets, basketballs, Vietnamese, English dictionaries, insignia of rank, bronze stars, and purple hearts, plastic cards imprinted with the code of conduct. Carried diseases, among them malaria, dysentery. Carried lice and ringworm and leeches and patty algae and various rots and molds. Carried the land itself. Vietnam, the place. Powdery orange red dust carried it. The humidity, the monsoons, the stink of fungus and decay, all of it. They carried gravity. They moved like mules. By daylight, they took snapper fire. At night, they were mortared, but it was not battle. It was just the endless march. Village to village, without purpose, nothing won or lost. Yeah. They plodded along slowly, dumbly, leaning forward against the hard heat, unthinking, all blood and bone, simple grunts, soldiering with their legs, toiling up the hills and down into the paddies and across the rivers and up again and down, just humping one step and then the next and then another, but no volition, no will, because it was automatic. It was anatomy. The war was entirely a matter of posture and carriage. The hump was everything. Kind of inertia, kind of emptiness, dullness of desire, intellect, and conscience, and hope, and human sensibility. Their principles were in their feet. Their calculations were biological.
You
They had
good?
they had no sense of strategy or mission. They searched the villages without knowing what to look for, not caring, kicking over jars of rice, frisking children and old men, blowing tunnels, sometimes setting fires and sometimes not. Then forming up and moving on to the next village, then other villages where it would always be the same. They carried their own lives. The pressures were enormous. In the heat of early afternoon, they would remove the helmets and flak jackets walking bare, which was dangerous, but which helped ease the strain. They'd often discard things along the route of march, purely for comfort. Throw away rations, blow their claymores and grenades in the matter because by nightfall, the resupply choppers would arrive with more of the same. And a day or two later, still more fresh watermelons and crates of ammunition and sunglasses and woolen sweaters. The resources were stunning sparklers for the 4th of July, colored eggs for Easter. It was the great American war chest, fruits of science. The smokestacks, the canneries, the arsenal at Hartford, the Minnesota forest, the machine shops, the vast fields of corn and wheat. They carried like freight trains. They carried it on their backs and shoulders, and for all the ambiguities of Vietnam, all the mysteries and unknowns, there was at least a single abiding certainty that they would never be at a loss for things to carry.
After the chopper took Lavender away, Lieutenant Jimmy Cross led his men into the village of Tan Kei. They burned everything. They shot chickens and dogs. They trashed the village well. They called in artillery and watched the wreckage. Then they marched for several hours through the hot afternoon. And then at dusk, while Kiowa explained how Lavender died, Lieutenant Cross found himself trembling. He tried not to cry. With his entrenching tool, which weighed 5 pounds, he began digging a hole in the earth. He felt shame. He hated himself. He had loved Martha more than his men. And as a consequence, Lavender was now dead. This was some this was something he would have to carry like a stone in his stomach for the rest of the war. All he could do was dig. Use his entrenching tool like an axe, slashing, feeling both love and hate. And then later, when it was full dark, he sat at the bottom of his foxhole and wept. It went on for a long while. In part, he was grieving for Ted Lavender, but mostly it was for Martha and for himself. Because she belonged to another world which was not quite real, and because she was a junior at Mount Sebastian College in New Jersey, a poet and a virgin and uninvolved, because he realized she did not love him and never would.
Like cement, Quail whispered in the dark. I swear to God. Boom, down. Not a word. I've heard this, said Norman Bulker. Pisser, still zipping himself up. Zap all zipping. All right, fine, that's enough. Yeah, but you had to see it. The guy I heard, man. Cement. So why not just shut the frick up? Quail shook his head sadly and glanced over at the hole. Lieutenant Jimmy Cross sat watching the night. The air was thick and wet. Warm, dense fog settled over the paddies, and there was stillness that precedes rain. After a time, Quail sighed. One thing for sure, he said. Lieutenant's in some deep hurt. I mean, that crying jag, the way he was carrying on, it wasn't fake or anything. It was real heavy-duty hurt. Man cares. Sure, Norman Barker said. Say what you want. Man does care. We all got problems. Not Lavender. No, I guess not, Booker said. Do me a favor, though. Got up? That's a smart Indian. Got up.
Shrugging, Kiowa pulled off his boots. He wanted to say more just to lighten up his sleep, but instead he opened his New Testament and arranged it beneath his head as a pillow. The fog made things seem hollow and unattached. He tried not to think about Ted Lavender, but then he was thinking how fast it was. No drama, down and dead, and how it was hard to feel anything except surprise. It seemed unchristian. He wished he could find some great sadness or even anger, but the emotion wasn't there and it couldn't make it happen. Mostly, he felt pleased to be alive. He liked the smell of the New Testament under his cheek, the leather and ink and paper and glue, whatever the chemicals were. He liked hearing the sounds of the night. Even his fatigue, it felt fine. The stiff muscles and the prickly awareness of his own body, a floating feeling. He enjoyed not being dead. Lying there, Kiowa admired Lieutenant Jimmy Cross's capacity for grief. He wanted to share the man's pain. He wanted to care as Jimmy Cross cared. And yet when he closed his eyes, all he could think was, boom, down. And all he could feel was the pleasure of having his boots off, and the fog curling in around him, and the damp soil, and the Bible smells, and the plush comfort of night.
After a moment, Norman Barker sat up in the dark. What the hell, he said. You want to talk? Talk. Tell it to me. Forget it. No, man, go on. One thing I hate, it's a silent Indian. For the most part, they carry themselves with poise, kind of dignity. Now and then, however, there were times of panic, where they squealed or wanted to squeal but couldn't, when they twitched and made moaning sounds and covered their heads and said, "Dear Jesus," and flopped around on the earth, fired their weapons violently, and cringed and sobbed and begged for the noise to stop, and went wild and made stupid promises to themselves and to God and their mothers and fathers, hoping not to die. In different ways, happened to all of them. Afterward, when the firing ended, they would blink and peek up. They would touch their bodies, feeling shame, quickly hiding it. They would force themselves to stand, as if in slow motion, frame by frame. The world would take on the old logic, absolute silence, and the wind, and sunlight, and voices. It was a burden of being alive. Awkwardly, men would reassemble themselves, first in private, then groups, common soldiers again, repair the leaks in their eyes, check for casualties, call in dust-offs, light cigarettes, try to smile, clear their throats and spit, and begin cleaning the weapons. And after a time, someone would shake his head and say, "No lie, I almost shit my pants." Someone else would laugh, which meant it was bad. Yes, but God obviously not crapped his pants. It wasn't that bad. And in any case, nobody would ever do such a thing and then go ahead and talk about it. They'd squint into the dense, oppressive sunlight. For a few moments, perhaps, they'd fall silent, lighting a joint, tracking its passage from man to man, inhaling, holding in the humiliation. Scary stuff, one of them might say. But then someone else would grin or flick his eyebrows and say, "Roger Dodger." Almost got me a new butthole. Almost.
Can you still see the screen?
I can still see the screen.
Okay, my computer's frozen right now.
I can keep going then if need be.
Okay, I can see the next paragraph, but I won't be able to scroll down after that. So I'll go to this, and then I'll try to restart. Just a second.
Okay.
I don't know why it crashed. I don't know why it crashed. Here, I'll try to figure this out.
I'm probably gonna go to bed soon after this.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Come
know what the
on.
stream became, but I'm pretty sure no one's watching. But
Yeah.
that's okay. It's fine.
There were numerous such poses. Some carried themselves with a sort of wistful resignation, others with pride or stiff soldierly discipline or good humor or macho zeal. They were afraid of dying, but they were even more afraid to show it. They found jokes to tell. You can take the next paragraph while I try to restart.
I can't see anything now.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, I'll try to restart it real quick.
Okay. Also, Big Red Johnny is watching. HBT Productions is still watching, so we do have one. Oh, we still got two. They're listening to our story, our speaking.
That's peak.
Also, I did notice a comment earlier. You're too much. I appreciate it though. The next Mark Thompson. It's funny.
That's awesome.
No.
Okay. Let's see if I can.
From that.
Okay. I don't know why my computer
Your
froze.
laptop possessed?
What, sorry?
So your laptop possessed? Really a weird
Yeah,
sound.
it's completely frozen right now. It's not done this yet.
Do you
I'm just
have
gonna
the
restart
story?
my
I can
laptop.
read the rest of it.
Yeah, I'll send you
If
the
you restart
story.
the laptop, won't that stop the stream?
I don't think it should. But I can end the stream. I'll be able to do that. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just send me it, I can just read the rest
Yeah,
of
I'll
it.
just send it to you and you can read the rest of it.
Because I know you're having sinus problems anyway.
Yeah, of course, of course. Thank you for reading. You're doing a great job. I really
Thank
love
you.
this story, and you're breathing nice life into it too.
Yeah, so some parts of it I had to man up, so I was like,
It's
I
good,
gotta
right?
read it. Yeah.
I really like its depiction of war.
I think I think enunciating the words helps though. I think it helps with most stories to read it out loud.
Yeah, no, that's real. um,
But it's just
I'm
the
sending
actor in
it
me. I'm
to
trying
you.
to catch the inflections with the commas and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see this being a show, honestly.
Mm.
I think what this does so well is portray um portray the war in such a real way. It feels so authentic when it goes down to the weight, the specific weight of the things that they carried. I don't know, it just it hits different to me. It feels more raw and that much more real.
Karen
Also
Travis,
like
look
the
what you could
language
have
he
done for us
uses.
during the Clone Wars. But you didn't.
You said what about Karen Travis?
I said she could have given us that during the Clone Wars, but instead she gave
Bro, I
us
know.
clones having
Imagine a Clone
girlfriends.
Wars story in this style. That would be
Yeah.
peak. All right, I sent you the story.
Alrighty. Give me a second. Dibba-dibba. We're on page 11.
Yeah.
No, we did.
Sorry, we're page 11.
Where did you stop?
I stopped on they found jokes to tell.
Okay. I see. They used our vocabulary to contain the terrible softness. Grease, they'd say. Oft, lit up. That was it. Wasn't cruelty. Just stage presence. They're actors. Someone died, it wasn't quite dying, because in a curious way it seemed scripted, because they had their lines mostly memorized, irony mixed with tragedy, as they called it by other names, as if to incite and destroy the reality of death itself. They kicked corpses, cut off thumbs, they talked grunt lingo, told stories about Ted Lavender's supply of tranquilizers, how the poor guy didn't feel a thing, how incredibly tranquil he was. There's a moral here, said Mitchell Sanders. They're waiting for Lavender's chopper, smoking the dead man's dope. The moral's pretty obvious, Sanders said, and winked. Stay away from drugs. No joke. They'll ruin your day every time. Dude, said Henry Dobbins. Mind blower, get it? Talk about Wiggy, nothing left, just blood and brains. Made themselves laugh. There it is, they'd say, over and over. There it is, my friend. There it is, as if the repetition itself were an act of poise. Balance between crazy and almost crazy. Knowing without going. There it is. Which meant be cool. Let it ride. Because, oh yeah, man, you can't change what can't be changed. There it is. There's absolutely and positively, and effing well is. They're tough. Carried all the emotional baggage of men who might die. Grief, terror, love, longing. They're intangibles, but the intangibles had their own mass and specific gravity. They had tangible weight. They carried shameful memories. They carried the common secret of cowardice barely restrained. The instinct to run or freeze or hide, and in many respects this was the heaviest burden of all, but for it could never be put down. It required perfect balance and perfect posture. Carried the reputations, carried the soldier's greatest fear, which was the fear of blushing. And men killed and died because they were embarrassed not to. It was what had brought them into the war in the first place. Nothing positive, no dreams of glory or honor, just to avoid the blush of dishonor. They died so as not to die of embarrassment. They crawled in the tunnels and walked point and advanced under fire. Each morning, despite the unknowns that made their legs move, they endured, they kept hunting. They did not submit to the obvious alternative, which was simply to close the eyes and fall. So easy, really. Go limp, tumble to the ground, let the muscles unwind, and not speak and not budge until your buddies picked you up and lifted you to the chopper that would roar and dip its nose and carry you off to the world. Mere matter of falling. and no one ever fell. It was not courage, exactly. The object was not valor, rather, they were too frightened to be cowards. By and large, they carried these things inside, maintaining the mask of composure. They sneered at sick call, spoke bitterly about guys that found release by shooting off their own toes or fingers. Pussies, they'd say, candy asses. Fierce, mocking talk, with only a trace of envy or awe, or even so the image played itself out behind their eyes. They imagined the muzzle against flesh. So easy. Squeeze the trigger, blow away toe. They imagined it. They imagined the quick, sweet pain, then the evacuation of Japan, then hospital warm beds and two Goisha nurses. And they dreamed of freedom birds. At night, on guard, staring into the dark, they were carried away by jumbo jets. Felt the rush of takeoff. Gone, they yelled. Them velocity, wings, and engines. Smiling stewardess, but it was more than a plane. It was a real bird. Big, sleek silver bird with feathers and talons and high screeching. They were flying. The weights fell off. There was nothing to bear. They laughed and held on tight. Feeling the cold slap of wind in altitude, soaring, thinking it's over. I'm gone. They were naked. They were light and free. It was all lightness, bright and fast and buoyant, light as light. A helium buzz in the brain, a giddy bubbling in the lungs as they were taken up over the clouds in the war. Beyond duty, beyond gravity, and mortification and global entanglements. Sim Loy, they yelled. Sorry, mother truckers, but I'm out of it. I'm goofed. I'm on a space cruise. I'm gone. And it was restful,
I like the McDonald's
unencumbered.
line coming up.
Yeah. Just riding the light waves, sailing the big silver freedom bird over the mountains and oceans, over America, over the farms and great sleeping cities and cemeteries and highways and the golden arches and McDonald's. It was flight,
Amen, brother.
kind of fleeing, kind of falling higher and higher, spinning off the edge of the earth and beyond the sun, through the vast, silent vacuum with no burdens, where everything weighed exactly nothing. Gone. They screamed, I'm sorry, but I'm gone. So at night, not quite dreaming, they gave themselves over to the lightness. They were carried. They were purely born. On the morning after Ted Lavender died, First Lieutenant Jimmy Cross crouched at the bottom of his foxhole and burned Martha's letters. Then he burned 2 photographs. Study rain falling, which makes it difficult. But he used heat tabs and sterno to build a small fire, screening at it with his body, holding the photographs over the tight blue flame with the tip of his finger. He realized it was only a gesture. Stupid, he thought. Sentimental, too. But mostly just stupid. Lavender was dead. Couldn't have burned the blame. Besides, the letters were in his head. Even now, without photographs, Lieutenant Cross could see Martha playing volleyball in her white gym shorts and yellow t-shirt. Could see her moving in the rain. The fire died out. Lieutenant Cross pulled his poncho over his shoulders and ate breakfast from a can. There was no great mystery, he decided. In those burned letters, Martha never mentioned the war, except to say, Jimmy, take care of yourself. He wasn't involved. She signed the letters love, but it wasn't love. And all the fine lines and technicalities did not matter. Virginity was no longer an issue. He hated her. Yes, he did. He hated her. Love too, but it was hard. Hating kind of love. Morning came up wet, blurry. Everything seemed part of everything else. The fog, Martha, the deepening rain. He was a soldier after all. Half smiling. Lieutenant Jimmy Cross took out his maps. He shook his head hard as if to clear it. Then he bent forward and began planning the day's march. 10 minutes, maybe 20. He roused the men they'd pack up and he'd head west, where the map showed the country to be green and inviting. They would do what they had always done. The rain might add some weight, but otherwise it'd be one more day layered upon all the other days. He was realistic about it. There was a new hardness in his stomach. He loved her, but he hated her. No more fantasies, he told himself. Henceforth, when he thought about Martha, it would be only to think that she belonged elsewhere. He shut down the daydreams. This was not Mount Sebastian. It was another world. There's no pretty
Mm.
poems or midterm exams. Place where men die because of carelessness and gross stupidity. Goyle was right. Boom, down, and you were dead. Never partly dead. Briefly in the rain, Lieutenant Cross saw Martha's gray eyes gazing back at him. He understood. Very sad, he thought. Things men carried inside, things men did or felt that they had to do. And he almost nodded at her, but didn't. Instead, he went back to his maps. He was not determined to perform his duties firmly and without negligence. It wouldn't help Lavender, he knew that, but from this point on, he would comport himself as an officer. He would dispose of his good luck pebble. Swallow it, maybe, use Lee Strong's slingshot,
Mm.
or just drop it along the trail. On the march, he imposed a strict field discipline. He would be careful to send out flank security to prevent straggling or bunching up, keep his troops moving at the proper pace and at the proper interval. He would insist on clean weapons. He would confiscate the remainder of Lavender's dope. And later in the day, perhaps, he would call the men together and speak to them plainly. He would accept the blame for what happened to Ted Lavender. He'd be a man about it. He'd look them in the eyes, keep his chin level. He issued new SOPs in a calm and personal tone of voice. Lieutenant's voice. There was no room for argument or discussion. Commencing immediately, he told them, they would no longer abandon equipment along the routes of march. They would police up their acts. They would get their shit together and keep it together and maintain it nearly and in good working order. He would not tolerate laxity. He would show strength, distancing himself. Among the men, there would be grumbling, of course, maybe worse, because their days would seem longer and the loads heavier. But Lieutenant Jimmy Cross reminded himself that his obligation was not to be loved, but to lead. He would dispense with
Mm.
love. It was not now a factor. If anyone quarreled or complained, he simply tightened his lip and arranged his shoulders in the correct command posture. He might give a curt little nod, or he might not. He meant to shrug and say, carry on, then saddle up and form a column and move out toward the villages west of Tonki. And that's it.
Mm. Oh. What do you think?
Pretty good.
Things
Pretty
that
good.
carried Tim O'Brien. I thought so too. I was surprised how it went from seeming so uninteresting to me to all of a sudden it completely had me captivated.
Yeah.
It was very
Yeah.
engrossing by the end, I thought.
I
I
agree.
enjoyed the philosophical elements to uh, the character development for Cross in particular and some of the others, just how they find meaning, how they cope with what they're dealing with, how they carry so many things, not just physical burdens, but so much more. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have any other thoughts? Thank you for reading it.
No problem.
I enjoyed it.
Uh,
Thanks for listening, guys.
no, just really, really solid, I think. Um, I think the atmosphere of it, it painted the scene and it just evoked an atmosphere that
A very
at first
grim
is
and
kinda
like
unassuming.
realistic atmosphere too.
Yeah. At first it's kinda mundane, but then you
Yeah,
kinda
yeah, of
realize what's
course.
happening. And then,
Definitely.
midway through, it's just kinda there. There were certain parts that got me a little choked up, not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not gonna
that was
lie.
pretty good.
I thought it was
But,
pretty emotionally moving.
yeah.
Just it makes me so sad that these people there were real people who had to fight in these circumstances and derive meaning out of nothing out there. Like just to stay
Yeah.
sane.
Mm.
Mm. But thanks for reading it, Alex. I enjoyed
Yeah. No
listening to
problem.
you bring it to us.
Be all be all Southern.
Yeah, you're just practicing for when you move to my neck of the woods.
Yeah, and I do some voice acting.
Yeah, we've got to get Alex getting paid for this, guys. We've got to get it.
You got that for free.
Yeah, I mean, we're
So,
getting you free for now, but
yeah. You never know.
Future, if I want you to read me a bedtime story, I'm gonna have to pay you. Pay you the big bucks. Just remember we were friends.
Yeah,
Just
I
remember
won't
your
forget.
friends from the low places. But
Hold on. Yeah. 1 second now. Before we head out of here. I was looking up something. I don't know if it's gonna pop up.
On mobile,
Yes.
can I add stuff to the? Can I add screen sharing on mobile?
Yeah,
Or
definitely
would I go
can.
for that?
Um, Actually, we're talking about Cameron Monaghan. I also thought.
Is it under guests?
What do you mean?
How do I add your screen sharing to it
Oh, I
on
can do it from
mobile?
my end. I can do it from
Okay.
my end. Yeah. Just give me a second. Sorry. This is.
No, you're good, dude. Take your time.
Also, there's also Judge Holden. Um,
Blood Meridian.
from yeah, it's speaking about war.
Oh yeah, of course. Blood
Memorable
Meridian's an
game.
excellent exploration of that.
Great book.
It's
Great book.
brutal.
Judge Holden. He never sleeps. He says that he will never die. He is dancing, dancing. He says that he will never die. Guess we got this
Bro,
one.
Alex, my
Huh?
Bible teacher my Bible teacher at college, he was the GOAT. He made us all read passages from Blood Meridian in class. My Bible professor.
Right. That's pretty cool,
He's the
actually.
theologian, but he absolutely adores Blood Meridian. He considers it the greatest, one of the greatest works of
American.
all time.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
he
probably
said
the
it's the
greatest
greatest
American
American
work.
novel.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it?
So I have the screen sharing, but you have to allow it.
Okay. See, where will it appear? I don't know where to
For me, it's
find it on
right next to
mobile.
my character.
Oh, that didn't do anything.
You just switch this around.
Did I remove myself? Oh, wait.
No, you're still there.
So Lance just showed up.
You just
I don't know
missed
how to operate mobile. Hold up.
my audiobook.
Yeah, he really did for real. He missed some peak. Destinations maybe.
Southerner. I know I did it before because when I was living with my grandma, I go and I'd be doing the live streams on my phone, and I was able to add the screen sharing for Robert. So I
What
definitely know it's possible.
if I request the desktop website?
Well, Lance, we discussed that way
Hmm.
back in the beginning of the stream, and then he sent me some sort of a short story to be read, and I decided to read that. And so I started reading that short story that he gave me to read, and I was talking like this, like I was Matt Wilkins or something, because it was written like it was from a Southerner, so I accepted that. And
There we go.
you
I
booted
got it.
yourself out. Oh yeah, Gossip Girl's phenomenal. We got it. We got it. We got it. We got it. Okay. So this is the first scene where this is supposed to be like a one and done. Like this is like an inspiration, but then they consistently bring this guy back. Um, so I'm gonna show a couple things just to get the point across of Cameron
Alex is
Monaghan.
drunk, Matt Wilkins. When Matt Wilkins is drunk, he becomes Alex.
Please, take a seat. You know, Mr. Killed my mother. You killed your mother, Jerome. Me. You killed her up on that hill, and Mr. Cicero let you clean up in his trailer. He told you to scratch the Satanist stuff on the hatch
Is
and
this
throw it
live
off
action
the
or
bridge.
it's animated, right?
That's
It's live
absurd
action.
It is?
and
Okay.
offensive,
I can't
but it's the
tell.
truth.
Oh, yeah.
What I
okay,
don't
okay.
know is why
Sorry, it
this
was
man
like
risked so
super
much to help you.
pixelated. Oh, wait, it's Gotham.
I
Isn't
think
it?
he's
Oh, I mean, on my end, it's not.
Okay, wait, it just cleared up for me.
Okay.
your father.
It's Gotham, right?
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about. My father was a sea captain.
Am I wrong, Mr. Cicero?
Yes. He was a sea captain. His name was Sven Carlson. He died at sea.
What was the name of his ship?
He worked on a lot of different ships.
The one he went down in.
She never said.
We can do a blood test to prove
Is
I'm
that
right.
Deadpool's wife?
Takes only half an hour to get a
The
foolproof
actress?
result. Isn't that right, Dr. Tompkins?
Huh?
Yes.
Is that Deadpool's wife's actress? Monica
Yes.
Bo.
I saw her in
okay,
this first before I saw her in Deadpool.
Save yourself a needle.
And then this guy, not this guy, this guy's from Breaking Bad, but the other guy
Yeah.
is from the OC. So, Orange County.
Everything.
I do hate
everything
needles.
is connected.
Good show. Good show.
I'm sorry, Jerome.
What are you talking about?
He's right.
Mm.
I am
Yes, it's the girl from
your
Firefly. and
father.
Deadpool.
Yeah, Firefly as
Why
well.
would you
Yeah.
say
You
She
must
looks
have
so young in
spoken the
Firefly. It's
truth.
crazy.
you're not my father? My mother would never.
Your mother was a cruel woman. She was often unkind to me, but she did once love me in her way. And she loved you very much. That's why she gave you a better father.
My
He's
mother
good.
was a cold-hearted whore who never loved anyone. And she never touched a pathetic old creep like you.
All these years, do you think I was kind to you because I'm such a good man? If I wasn't your father, would I help you as I have after what you did?
My father. I'll be damned.
Well, we had him. It was him.
Oh, it's very funny.
Doesn't he make it?
Boom-tsh. Looks like the bitch got me with a zinger in the end.
Why did you kill your mother, Jerome?
Oh, you know how mothers are. She just kept pushing. And I'm like, fine, Mom. Be a whore. Be a drunken whore even. But don't be a nagging, drunken whore. You know? Don't come yell at me to do the dishes if you've been banging a clown in the next room. You know.
So there's that. That's where everybody went, oh, this guy's amazing. We got Rush Roulette. This is also a fun
This
scene.
book goes all the way back to 1971, and it has every single crop Daddy's ever planted in.
Ooh, shiny. Give that back. I saw it first. No, you didn't.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen this clip, actually.
Make me, you little brat.
Ew.
Your samurai skills are excellent, Greenwood-san, but they are nothing compared to me. Prepare to die!
That's enough! Said, I tried
That's what
to
I'm saying.
stop them.
Boys, we're a team.
A Joker who's a
Don't fight
Jedi.
amongst yourselves.
Yeah, we're a
It's
team,
basically Cornwall.
boys.
And I'm the
Yeah.
captain. Captain of my foot. I've murdered a dozen women. Terrorized the city.
Those are rookie
What have
numbers.
you
Gotta pump
done?
those up.
Chop up your mommy. Everybody has
You.
to start somewhere.
Thanks for being here.
See, I have vision.
Thanks for stopping in, Harry.
and brains. You're just a nutty old cannibal. How many people can you eat before that shtick gets old?
I could eat one more.
I can see we're gonna have to resolve this one once and for all. You all know this game, right?
Oh, love it.
Who wants to be the boss?
Ladies first.
Alex, should we play Russian roulette next stream?
Yeah. Down.
Me and you, bro.
Hey, Greenwood. What's the secret to good comedy? Timing. And what's courage? Grace under pressure. And who's the boss? I'm the boss.
I always skip ahead a lot to season 3. Or this is also. I'll show one more from season 2.
I need to talk to Commissioner Essenrod.
Heard you were looking for us.
What the hell?
I wish I could tell you that things were going to get better for you. They're not. Here, bring that up here. Get a better angle of the room.
Why are you doing this?
To rule the world. Blah, blah, blah. But we'll settle for some dead cops and some good PR. Kidding.
Yeah, whatever. I get it. You're just crazy.
Crazy.
I was crazy once.
Trapped in a room.
Look at me. You can see I'm not crazy.
Very soon, little man, you will be dead, and the world will go on without you. You'll be nothing. No one will even remember your name.
No, that is where you're wrong, old lady. We will leave a mark on the city. We will spread across it like a virus. Do you know why? There's nothing more contagious than laughter. My line. There's nothing more contagious than laughter.
Literally the Joker.
That was strangely pleasant. Do it again.
That's gonna leave a mark.
You got me.
And now we skip ahead. He loses his face. It's a whole thing. I'm not gonna explain that. But we have this.
So I got my lunch from Uber Eats today,
Love
and there's
this.
a really cool opportunity for students that you need to know.
W ad.
One.
My. Look how big you've gotten.
Cool look.
Are you okay?
I'll be fine, Master Bruce. I'll be fine.
Nice place you got here. Your rent?
What do you want?
Attitude. Teenagers, am I right? Oh, I remember those days. So many exciting new emotions flowing through you, wanting to kill everyone you saw. Oh. You. Gimme.
Peak acting here.
You know, I will never understand rich people's tastes.
It's worthless. My father found it at a flea market. I keep it for sentimental reasons.
Nice try. Oh, it's got some heft to it. Expensive, I'm guessing. It'd be such a shame if I...
No, don't!
Oh. Tougher than I figured. Anyway, after you. I asked you what you want. Right. Sorry, the old noodle's still a little al dente post-thaw. The reason I'm here is I'm gonna kill you.
Why?
Well, this last thing I remember wanting to do. It's been nagging at me since I woke up.
Alex, have you ever seen the British version of Shameless?
That pretty
I have not.
I haven't either.
Figured that
I forgot it was a thing.
What do you think?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering
remember
because I
that
was
night
thinking about
when you took over the benefit.
this actor being
You were
in
quite the showman.
Shameless.
You always nice
Yeah.
to be
I
appreciated.
think
And
he's
you're just
also
going to
in
kill
the
me
new
here?
Tron, if I remember right.
It's kind of disappointing.
What do you mean?
After all the build-up, you coming back to life, turning off the lights in Gotham, killing me here just doesn't show a lot of
Flair? Style? Panache? Go on, boy. Spit it out. I can take it.
I'm Bruce Wayne.
I'm aware.
I am the ruling elite. My company is the machine that keeps the cogs of Gotham running. Killing me should mean something, and you're telling me no one's going to see it?
You're saying I need an audience? Look, I know you're just trying to buy time so you can escape. But your point is still valid. Sound up, boys! We're taking the show on the road! And I know just the spot. Come on. No, you old chap. The Prince of Gotham deserves a public death. His butler, not so much. Kill him. No, Bruce!
That's pretty much all that. Yeah, season
Yeah, super
4.
solid.
Yeah, and then they get really convoluted because they want to get rid of Jerome, but they want to keep him around because they want to keep having the Joker without the Joker. So they keep finding ways around
Hello,
the copyright issue. So then they introduce Jeremiah, who's his twin.
Right, his
because
twin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because of course.
And
It is
he
Mad Hatter
adopts
and
some more.
Scarecrow.
He adopts some more Joker-like
So,
look
how you
visually.
been? Oh, you look great.
Yeah, every season he gets a little bit more like
I
him.
think I used to be the handsome one, right? How'd you find your way through
Down
the
to the
maze?
color scheme by the end.
Bro, we might not look the same anymore, but we still think the same. Plus, you used to draw those stupid things all the time as a kid. I paid attention. Hey, Hathead, take Crane, find Jimbo and his bearded sidekick. Kill them. I've been waiting for this moment for 15 years. Ever since you ran away in the middle of the night like a coward. You're insane. Yeah. And I tried telling Mom, but she didn't want to listen to me. You blame me for everything that's gone wrong in your life, but the truth is, Jerome, you were born bad. Born bad, huh? So that's why you made her think that I tried to kill you, right? Yeah, we both. What was it again? What was it? I put a blade to your throat. No. I tried to light you on fire. We both know you wanted to. Yeah, that was a funny story, wasn't it? Okay. Maybe it didn't happen exactly like that. But I didn't have a choice, and I was right. You killed her mother. She did deserve it, though. After that whore hid you away, she gave up on me. Poisoned by your stories. You turned everyone I ever loved against me. My own flesh and blood! Yeah, I guess it's like what they say. We all could go insane with just one bad day. I guess with you, it's more like one bad spray.
So he says that because he will later on in the show basically spray him and turn him into another version of him, and he like dies in the same episode. So hold on. Sure. And then he does something completely different with Jeremiah until he kind of starts returning to form. But they kind of like do like a Hannibal Lecter sort of like situation at first.
Welcome back.
Very calm. But yeah.
Just a little bit further, brother. Then you'll be back in your grave. You're
So
strong.
right now he's pretending to kind of be crazy, and he's thinking that Bruce, because him and Bruce kind of have like a really good friendship for a little bit going. Him and Jeremiah, and he starts pretending that he's seeing Bruce as his brother.
Longer than this, Jeremiah.
You know these ideas are just the insanity gas talking. Don't let your lies fool me any longer. What's happening?
Hiya, Jimbo.
Jerome.
Don't bother talking to me. This is a recorded message, and plus, I'm still dead. Just more posthumous fun. Look, I knew you'd see through all those shenanigans at the station. I've given all my fans a script for them to follow. See? I wanted to bring you here. Oh.
Now do you believe I'm not your brother? Jeremiah, listen to me. Jerome's followers are doing this. Nothing else makes sense. He sent them instructions to torment you.
Nothing. Yes, I can see quite clearly where you cut off poor Bruce's face and stitched on your own. But I am a man of science. So let's have some evidence, huh?
Oh, don't mind her. She's just here to make sure there's no talking during the movie. And trust me, you're gonna want to pay attention so the twist makes sense at the end. I tell ya, suicide really takes to have a guy. What is this?
Jeremiah, do not let him turn you into him. Do not let Jerome win this battle.
Jerome beat me. That'll be the day.
No! No! Long live Jerome! Long live Jerome! Long live Jerome! Jerome is victorious at last!
Jerome victorious. Are you serious? He's dead. Haven't you been paying attention?
I'd love to keep watching because this is peak acting.
Yeah.
I think after
You
this
gotta go
one,
to
I'll
bed.
need to wrap it up. Yeah.
It's okay.
We can play the rest of that one.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay.
We're probably
Yeah,
gonna
I've seen some
copyright
clips from the show
live stream
before, and
one.
it looks solid.
The show's kind of bad, but everything with him is good.
Yeah,
I think season
yeah,
one
yeah,
is
I
the
got you.
best because it's all about
What-
like penguins rise.
What button did I just click?
I don't
I
know.
just put a. Yeah, sorry, you were saying?
Season one is basically like penguins rise through the criminal underworld, and
Right.
that's
Yeah, I've
a
heard
really
mixed
solid
things
season.
about the show
Yeah, season
as a
one's the
whole.
best, just overall.
Mm.
And then beyond that, you only keep watching for whenever Jerome/Jeremiah shows up, really.
Mm.
But yeah, we probably copyrighted your stream enough as it is with those like 4 or 5 videos. So,
No, it's fine. It's fine. Lastly, before we wrap up, all I wanted to say was congrats to you on the 500 subscriber milestone. That's huge.
thank you, sir.
So happy for you with that, dude.
Appreciate
You
that.
deserve it and more. So I'm very excited for the future of your channel. And I wanted to say shout out to the Wayback Machine, the podcast on your channel. It's been phenomenal. I've enjoyed listening to it while doing homework at school. So
Appreciate that.
I think there's another one coming soon. So make sure everyone goes over there, watches it on Alex's channel. It's good stuff. Um, so yeah. Thanks for joining me tonight, man. Talk about some
Thanks
stuff.
for having me.
It's
Yeah,
always
we
good,
talked about
man.
Star Wars for like 30 minutes, and then the rest of it was an audiobook, and then Gotham video.
Thirsting for Timothy Chalamet as
I'm
well,
thirsting for Timothy Chalamet. I forgot about that. Yeah.
which is
So,
valid, by the way, and
I mean, I
completely
think that's
straight to do that.
a solid movie length of content for people to enjoy, I think.
Yeah, diversity, right?
Exactly. Exactly. You got
We
to
need more
diversify
of
our
us
asset.
just insulting each other for no reason
That too.
because they care about our friendship and our chemistry, the viewers.
Clearly, yeah. But the most important thing out of everything tonight is
They
that you
want the
all go
will
and
they,
watch
won't they
Gossip.
energy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm watching Gossip Girl also as well.
Oh,
That will
yeah.
also help
That's a
our
key
chemistry.
takeaway. Yeah,
Exactly.
that adds to the dynamic.
That's what I'm
Say me
saying.
in your
Thank you.
gossipy ways, girl.
XOXO, Gossip Girl.
That's so tough, bro.
Yeah, it is. All right. Well, I guess that's
But
it.
with that
I
said,
won't reveal who Gossip Girl is. I won't ruin that for you.
I think it's you.
You might be right. Alrighty.
Are you that
Till
much
next
of a
time,
diva?
guys. Yeah, well, I have been watching a lot of Pennywise, and he's quite a diva. So I think so.
Oh, you've been watching the new It show?
Oh, yes, I have been.
What's
You
the
go.
title of it again? It's the
It's It Welcome to Derry.
yeah, Welcome to Derby. Yeah. I
So
saw the first
bad,
episode.
so sad. Couldn't
It
save old Matty
seems
boy.
like peak.
Hey,
Seems like
hey,
peak.
say Matty boy. Sorry.
You need to make sure to check out From sometime as well. That show's also pretty good. But thanks to everyone for watching, and
Yeah.
big thanks to my brother forever, Alex, for hopping on. It's good
Oh,
to reminisce
I
on
was like, I
some
didn't know
older times of
Jonathan was here.
streams. Back to the old era of streaming. Yeah. My brother from another mother, right? My California brother.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, but it's been
But
fun.
yeah, it was fun.
It's
Yeah.
been random, like we used to do.
It's been random. Yeah. Remember we
Yeah.
just yap and flap our gums for 3 hours?
I had you on streams about Spider-Man, where we just watch High Top Films videos in Spider-Man.
And then we'd like talk about nothing about it when we'd actually start talking.
Yeah, that was great. It's good
Good
times.
times, dude. But yeah, thanks to everyone for watching, and guess we'll see you all next time. Go subscribe to
Bye-bye.
Alex, get him up to
Don't
600.
do that.
That's the next
Go
mark.
away.
Do it.
Don't
Go look at the YouTube shorts for
regret
his
it.
acting. It's peak.
Don't do that.
Do that.
It's
Yeah,
already got
we'll see
1,000
y'all next time.
views. But
Yeah, I saw. I was hyped. It's doing good.
that's more than I have as subscribers. Why? It's like, I think people are
That's
just
so
watching it
solid,
over
man.
and over. I think that's all it is.
Yeah, it's me watching it 400 times.
Yeah, well, you only account for 400. So where's the rest coming from? Yeah.
Yeah,
Ready.
but it's been fun as
Yeah.
always. Pleasure, Alex.
Always.
We'll see y'all next time.
See y'all next time.